We welcome you to the annual Hart Women's Basketball Media Day. I'm your host, Hart correspondent Stephen Davis. We are excited to be joined now by the head coach of the Missouri Valley College Vikings, Ben Lister, and Giovanna Moore. Coach Lister, Gia, how's it going today in Marshall?
It's not too bad so far. So, yeah, off to a good start.
All right. Coach, introduce us to Gia sitting there next to you and tell us what she means to the program.
Sure. This is Gia. She's a sophomore for us here. She was a freshman of the year in the conference her first year. She's been first team all conference both her freshman and her sophomore year. Obviously, a player that we rely on heavily and has done a lot of really good things for us. So, really excited about her junior year and continuing to watch her grow and be the kind of player that I think she can be all around. She works extremely hard in the off season to continue to improve her game, and I think it continues to show each year how much better she can get.
Gia, Coach mentioned all your honors there that you've racked up already in a short time on campus. What do those mean to you?
They mean everything. Basketball is like my whole life, so I love everything about it. When I get blessed with something like that, it just makes me feel even better about the work that we put in together.
Gia, what's it meant to have this opportunity then to be able to continue what you love and play basketball at the collegiate level there at Missouri Valley?
Oh, it means more to me than I can put into words. I love basketball so much. It's what I've always wanted to do. So just being able to play here and play for him, he's shaped me into the player that I am. So I'm just very grateful for the opportunity.
Coach, the Hart sent 4 teams to the NAIA National Tournament last year. Kind of give us what you think is the national perspective of the league now that you've coached in it for around a decade.
Well, I would think that the national perspective at this point is that our league can stand against any other league in the nation. Obviously, I've had success in the national tournament. We've had years where we've had 3 teams in the Final Four at national tournaments. This year, I would expect nothing different from our league except for a group of teams that have an opportunity to go out and compete at the highest level. I think our league is as deep as anybody's league. I think that the talent level continues to get better and better. And I've seen that growth in my time in this conference. I've seen how it continues just to improve, and adding more teams definitely made the league a lot deeper as well. But yeah, our national perception should be one that the Heart of America is as good as any conference that we have at the NAIA level.
Coach, talk about this year's team for a moment. Do they fit the type of style you want to bring to the floor and what you're expecting from them?
Yeah, we're in a major overhaul, Stephen, to be honest. We lost 10 players from last year. We had 6 seniors graduate. We had a couple kids transfer out. So as far as the identity of the team, this is a group that I've recruited, significantly as my own team at this point. I love the seniors we had the last couple of years. They did a really good job of getting this program moving forward. They were a group that got us to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in 25 years here. So this team is going to be more built the way that I like to play, and has a little bit better personnel for that. We're super young. We've got a lot of transfers in, but a lot of them are freshmen and sophomores. We're going to have a lot of growing pains, I think, early, trying to get some things figured out on how we want to play, style we want to play, and just figuring each other out as a group as a whole. And we've just been, unfortunately, in a situation where we've had a lot of early season injuries that have kept some kids from getting practice time. So we are just trying to find our identity right now, day in and day out. But definitely a group that I think can fit the characteristics I'm looking for as far as how I'd like our style to be.
We're also joined today by the voice of the Missouri Valley College Vikings. Ken, do you have some questions for Coach and Gia?
Yeah, I'll start with Gia. Gia, you, as we mentioned, you're first team all conference both years. You're going into your junior season. Obviously, that when a team plays Missouri Valley, they're going to be really focusing on you. Have you done some things this summer? Have you thought about that and what you have to do to continue, maybe to improve or to get by that? Because you're going to be the marked woman on the court, I guess. Have you thought about that?
I always want to get better. So when you say things that I've done, just continue to work to get better. I think I'm very fortunate, like with the new players like we have a lot of good players, a lot of good shooters, a lot of people who can do good things. So people just focusing in on me is just going to open up opportunities for them. So not really like, not really like say worried or like, feel any way like that. I'm just, I'm ready to take on a challenge, ready to showcase my teammates.
I've noticed last year a couple of ball games when someone else was scoring the points or you felt someone had the hot hand, you didn't mind being the assist leader that night. Is that kind of the way you take basketball? You're going to take whatever someone gives you on the court. How do you look at that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Whatever you give me, I'm just gonna take it and run with it. I'm gonna build on it, and I mean, we're gonna build on it. Like as a team, we're gonna play our best.
Yeah, you're a leader on this team this year. What's that mean in practice? Is it different things you have to do now that you are one of the team leaders?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I've been a leader before this year, so I think my duties have changed as to now. Like we don't really have many seniors, so I'm like an older leader now, and um, so I mean that's different, but it's still the same with trying to encourage and uplift my teammates, trying to just prepare them for what we have ahead of us. So I think it's a little more like big older sister kind of leader now.
Okay, all right, good. Coach Lister ranked, I think, number 7 in the preseason poll, made the tournament last year. But as you pointed out, this is a tough league. You go back to last year, there were some early season losses. If you could have turned some of those around, who knows what happened. But being number 7, you made the tournament last year. So I guess your goal is to continue to improve on that this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked a lot to our team. Having a winning season is always something that you strive for, but 16-13 last year, that's not the standard that I want our program to be at. We want to be in a position where we're competing to win this conference and in the top 3 or 4 of the league, the chance to win it towards the end of the year. And I think if you're in that position, obviously you have a chance to make some noise at the national level as well. But we are also a team this year that's got no seniors on it. We've got, like I said, 10 new players, a lot of new faces, and we start conference play in mid-November. So it's going to be a challenge to put ourselves in position to be in that race when you have such a young group that's still learning each other and you're playing conference games 2 weeks into your season. So I think everybody feels that way. It's got a bunch of new players in our conference. It's a tough transition to get right into that. Been through it before, though, in this league. You got to be ready to go right away. There's just no other choice.
All right, that was my next question. With the conference season starting in mid-November, you have 4 preseason games, right? Most coaches like to use the preseason to kind of set the lineup, see who's going to be a role player, how many minutes. You don't have much time, so obviously that's a little bit different with conference starting that soon in November, isn't it?
It is. I've been through it one time before in our conference. We had 24 conference games. We were fortunate to win the conference that year, but it is a mental grind. Conference games are different than non-conference games, and we actually only have 3 preseason games before we play our first conference game. So not a lot of time to figure things out in game situations. We have a tough one in our second non-conference game. We play Columbia, so we're going to get an early test right there. So for me, it's really just trying to drive home the message with the girls that we need to be ready to go right away. We can't figure this out 2 months down the road and think we're going to still be in this race. So that's been our message. And again, with some of the injuries we've had early and the inconsistency of kids being in practice, it's been tough to find the kind of rotation that we want because kids have been in and out of the lineup. So we're still figuring all that out, but we've got great kids. I think they really love the game. I think that they are capable of doing what I want them to do as a team. And we continue to show signs of things that I really like when we practice, but we obviously have a long ways to go.
Of course, you have G as one of your leaders, but a lot of young players. Does that change things the way you do in practice, or how do you getting those young players ready to learn your system?
Oh, it definitely changes things. I think we spend a lot more time focusing on how we want to run our offense, rotations in defense, and just spending longer periods of time doing that, whereas a veteran group, they're kind of used to what we're doing, and maybe can get a little bit more up and down. We haven't done a ton of that right now, just because we want to make sure that we can execute and people know where they're supposed to be. And for me, getting older, but patience is definitely something that I'm learning more and more every year that I coach. And this group, definitely I need to be patient with. I know that I want them to have success right away, but I also want them to feel comfortable in what we're doing. They can operate at a high level, and I need to have patience in some of them getting there. So that's been a challenge for me. And Gia knows that. She's probably laughing over there because she knows that I've had a few moments, but I do like the group a lot. I think they're the kind of team that can really make some noise. We just got to continue to work, take it day by day.
All right, Gia and Ben, look forward to working with all of you again this year, and thanks for having me on today.
Good to see
Ken,
you.
great stuff. Gia, before we let you go, game day experience there as a player at Missouri Valley. What's your favorite part about game days?
Well, that's a hard one. I love everything about a game day, but I don't know. I really like when the games first start and the initial feeling like, oh, after the warm up, we're about to do the jump ball, everything's about to start, and you just get that game rush. I don't know. I love that. I love playing. Anything to get the game started.
Very cool. That game rush will be here soon. Coach Gia, we thank you for the time today. Best of luck this season.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.